we will make your officers' information public record. Police Department, you should have expected this.
This video right here is asking that those officers be named, fired, and face criminal charges. Hacktivists, as they're known, are also calling on their supporters to prepare to occupy.
He was not just an agent. He was the chief of the FBI. Welcome, Ted Gunderson.
Thank you very much.
I would like to discuss the connection between the CIA and Hollywood. Whistleblower Rizzo, who was general counsel for the entire CIA, admits the CIA has long had a relationship with the entertainment industry.
What are the CIA's deepest secrets? Presidents commanded the CIA to know the world, and when that failed, the CIA set out to change the world. It's all on the record. It's just the facts, and the facts aren't pretty.
I call myself a recovering CIA officer. I go through CIA Officers Anonymous, but that group is not a 12-step program. It's a 24-step program. The first 12 steps, we learn how to tell the truth again, and that's the hardest part.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal? We do have people who submit pieces to two American journals.
We didn't have any journalistic training except CIA training. Anderson, what influence do you think the CIA has when it comes to mainstream media?
Dude, you're being just ridiculous.
To manipulate the news and mainstream media? So Anderson Cooper has 3 security guards all around him now.
Congress today reauthorized funding for Facebook, the massive online surveillance program run by the CIA. According to Department of Homeland Security reports, Facebook has replaced almost every other CIA information gathering program since it was launched in 2004.
John Stockwell is the highest-ranking CIA agent to go public.
I'm not the highest-ranking CIA officer to go public, the highest case officers to go public and endeavor to tell the truth about what the CIA has been up to.
We lost our democracy and our constitutional government down to the earth.
My expertise, as you know, is CIA, Marine Corps, 3 CIA secret war. They run operations in every corner of the globe. They also undertook the license of operating just totally above and beyond U.S. laws.
And as a former CIA officer, I'm bound by the Intelligence Activities Protection Act of 1982, so I can't mention, confirm, or deny, quote unquote, any CIA personnel involved in these events.
When the higher-ups in the drug operation, who were military officers, government personnel, police officers, 2 attorneys in Fayetteville, North Carolina, when they learned that this cult, the satanic cult, had committed these murders,
devoting considerable attention to fostering relationships with Hollywood movers and shakers, which was used actually to influence the media, the news, and Hollywood.
Secret prisons, they go back to 1950 at the CIA. Torture as a tool of interrogation, that also goes back to 1950.
When you're a CIA whistleblower, there are some perks to that, believe it or not. For example, I get my mail is open before I get it. It's kind of nice. It's like, well, thank you for that. Somebody's already been in it. My cell phone turns itself on and off, especially when I...
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
These commuters are unaware. Their every move is being watched by next-generation surveillance cameras.
We can pass in the vehicles and tell what type of vehicles it is, and also it could detect the bicyclist, motorcyclist.
After years of secretly monitoring the public, we were astounded so many people would willingly publicize where they live, all their friends, personal email addresses, hundreds of photos of themselves, and even status updates about what they were doing moment to moment. It is truly a dream come true for the CIA.
Especially when I have these meetings, my wife will tell you, the cell phone will just come on right before we come and do this sort of thing. Well, that's convenient, though. That you could look at that maybe as a perk, couldn't you? If I ever get lost, we travel a lot. If I ever get lost, there's always someone following me.
The United States still has an open policy of supporting coups and destabilizations and low-intensity conflicts in every corner of the globe. The U.S. doing this through the CIA.
Any CIA personnel involved in these events, they'd probably come and whisk me away the next day. I'm not afraid of the big bad wolf. I need to be careful if I want to continue doing this.
They had a license, if you will, to kill, but also they took that to a license to smuggle drugs, a license to do all kinds of things to other people in other societies in violation of international law, our law.
They knew that if there was an investigation of the cult, they would expose the whole operation throughout America. And so what they do, they covered it up. Next thing I hear, I'm receiving phone calls from around the country. I'm a homosexual, suffering from mental problems, disgruntled ex-employee.
Angelina Jolie is CIA, UCFR, CIA, the whole thing. She plays CIA agents. Same thing with people like Steven Seagal. Same thing with people like George Clooney.
And targeted assassinations of the real and perceived enemies of the United States? Well, that goes back all the way to the beginning, too.
We're not just at the 11th hour, we're at the 11th hour, 59-minute point in this country constitutionally. I'm sorry to say that we are living under a post-constitutional government in America now, and it's getting worse by the hour. There's a war going on in Washington.
It seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
This includes real-time crowd analysis and even mood analysis. And China is the perfect testing ground. At this convenience store, registered customers enter with facial recognition. They buy items using their phones.
Much of the credit belongs to CIA agent Mark Zuckerberg, who runs the day-to-day Facebook operation for the agency. The decorated agent, codenamed the Overlord, was recently awarded the prestigious Medal of Intelligence Commendation for his work with the Facebook program.
And as some of you know, I take a bit of a risk in doing this every time I do it, and we've been living this for about 4 years, but it has to be done because this is so important what we're up against in this country.
Our society is said to be drowning in a sea of drugs, and integral to all of this is the systematic destruction of our environment. And it's my thesis that these subjects interrelate: drug trafficking, the arms race, conventional wars, the destruction of the environment.
All 5 of them admitted that they had been flying a lot of cocaine into the United States for the CIA, the DIA, and the NSC.
Another gentleman who was the good guy who tried to expose corruption within the FBI laboratory has been kicked out and pressured out of another FBI agent.
I give this speech to any group that will take the risk to do it. Some do and some don't. The mainstream media has avoided this. There are a lot of sectors that don't want this information becoming public.